An Elden Ring movie, The Blessings of Despair.
Before the Erd Tree started to die, it was considered to be eternal.
What do we got here? It's
And before the
artwork.
Erd Tree, there was the Crucible, a chaotic melting pot of
Interesting.
primordial life that served as the Erd Tree's primal vital energies. It birthed creatures of feather, breath, tail, and horn.
I wonder who did this artwork.
Aspects of this crucible were considered to be divine. That is, until civilization advanced,
So with the misbegotten.
and
Oh,
those deemed misbegotten were enslaved.
yes they were.
For during Marika's golden age,
Am I the only one that feels bad for the misbegotten?
aspects of the crucible were deemed signs of devolution, and those that harbored them, abominations. Many fell omen had their horns excised.
Oh,
few-
I didn't catch that. So I knew, like, if you had horns, you would be an omen, and then there was a whole story behind that. But I didn't know that had anything to do with the Crucible. So the horns that like the Crucible Knights have and stuff like that—that's a sign of the Crucible. Okay.
Few that survived were hunted by the omen killers, butchers of twisted conscience.
What's up, butchers?
But then, Godfrey and Queen Marika herself gave birth to Omen twins. If such powers could birth Omen, then could they really be so far from grace? Was the Crucible not at the heart of the Erd Tree? Marika's Omen children would not have their horns excised, but they would be shackled far beneath the earth,
I wonder if it's just evolutionary.
close to the Erd Tree. And yet, so far. Eventually,
What if they were all wrong? Like the horns and the omens and stuff like that, it all had nothing to do with anything. It was just straight up like a common genetic mutation or something, and like no, it had nothing to do with anything anybody thought.
Marika's faith in her own golden order waned. The rune of death was stolen. The first demigod was killed, and Lord Godfrey was exiled. Marika would go on to shatter the Elden Ring, spurring her children to action as the lands between lost its blessing.
So sad. Thousands of years later. Alas, that land, once blessed, now has diminished. We, betrothed, destined to be mothers, now become repulsive. We have lamented and we have shed tears. Is this dialogue from the game? But no one consoles us. Golden One, at whom were you angry?
In the shattering war that followed, only Mikola would attempt to bring peace with his Halig tree.
Only
The
Mikola.
demigods would fight for the shards of the Elden Ring. Godric the Golden would attempt a coup, which failed, forcing him to flee from Leyndell.
He looks so
For a
ridiculous.
sibling had emerged from the sewers with the right to great power.
Yes, sir.
Rykard would commit a grave blasphemy and seek to devour the very gods, just as he had been devoured himself. And Princess Rani, having slain her own flesh, would hide away. The fate in her stars halted.
She's probably an excellent
by
mountain
Radahn,
climber.
said to be the mightiest of the demigods, with no one as his equal. But Melania would journey south to challenge him.
There's the real
Though
challenger.
their war scarred the land itself, there would be no victor. Meanwhile, Moog would emerge.
I think Melania
Melania's brother from the Halig tree,
allowed there to
taking
be no
him far
victor.
away to the seat of his coming dynasty.
She could have won. She just wanted to go stab him, do her flower thing, and get out.
And so, Melania would return, carried on the back of a faithful knight, to find her brother gone, with all the Halig tree left praying for his homecoming. So in the end, there would be no victor,
Stolen.
and the demigods lingered,
Kidnapped.
without the
Better
will
word.
or strength to change their fate. And the tarnished would return, wild exiles, now led by grace once lost, to break the tenuous stalemate of the demigods. A stalemate held in place by King Morgoth, defender of the Erd Tree, and last of all kings.
You ever notice there's never any
continues.
place comfortable for anybody to sit in this game?
In this broken world, all would ask themselves, Queen Marika, at whom were you so angry? Why?
America's very mysterious to me. Even all we know about her, she's just like her decisions. There's 15 different explanations for everything she does.
Tarnished,
Foul tarnished.
in search of the Elden Ring. Emboldened by the flame of ambition.
Look at them jumping skills. Imagine you could jump that high. That would be wild.
Someone must extinguish thy flame. Let it be Margit the Fell.
Oh,
In the years
Margit.
since the stalemate of the demigods, Margit the Fell has appeared like a wraith, preventing Tarnished from picking off his weaker kin.
That's true. Guarding Stormvale. Whack! Boom. Got you. With the faith build.
Well, thou art of passing skill. Warrior blood must truly run in thy veins. Tarnished.
I kind of like these fights. These Prepare to Cry videos are so much more cinematic and fun to
Luckily,
watch.
Tarnished are no strangers to death, and they will suffer against their foes as many times as it takes. The Margit we fought here was merely an omen illusion, an extension of the man himself, whose true form resides in Leyndell, an omen king, who would be despised by the populace if his true identity became known. But now, his only duty is to stop Tarnished.
I thought they were two different people. Morgoth and Margit. Aren't there two different people? Someone explain that to me.
Reaching the thrones, and the title of Elden Lord. In the wake of the shattering,
Damn,
the land
I was really hard on this game. I was like, oh my god, they just straight up reused that boss again. Like, I just thought, I was pretty mad when I saw him out in Leyndell. I'm like, man, dude, that's like, it's not even different at all. I totally missed that.
itself has been scarred, and the well-traveled roads have all been obliterated. Now, sheer cliffs jut upwards into ominous skies. The land of Leonia is even slowly sinking into a lake. And it's here
'Cause of
that we
them
find a
lobsters, man.
cooking prawn
Oh yeah,
A
your
black
boy.
god named Bogart.
What are you looking at? You
Oi.
trying to start something, mate?
Oi, bruv.
You're tarnished too, ain't you? Can you see it then? The guidance of grace, I mean. I can't see it at all no more. Makes no bloody sense anyway. Why some no-name shithead like me should get called to the lands between. Cruel bloody joke, you ask me. Maybe something went tits with it. Maybe it's been broke for a good long
I
time.
love this dude. This dude is by far my favorite. He has the best dialogue of any character in the game. I just like how like tough he is. Oh, America's tits! Like, this shit is so funny to me.
Many Tarnished were called back to the lands between, and here their crowns would
Look at
be
his beard.
many
Go back.
Tarnished.
I never even noticed that. He has like beard armor. Oh, it's ears. The all-hearing instead of the all-knowing, right? Dang, look at that. And he has eyeballs around his center. I never even noticed this before. He has ear beard.
Were called back to the lands between, and here their crowns would be warranted by strength and little else, because for all its claims to true order, The greater will did not distinguish between the tarnished beckoned by grace. Their thoughts, their ambitions, nothing seemed to matter. And what better example of this is there than the Dung Eater? A legend, yes, but one reviled by the masses, up until the very moment that his grace was returned. Now the Dung Eater torments the city of Leyndell. There's even evidence that he tortured someone at the fortified manor, where the true Round Table resides. It's little wonder, then, that his vengeful spirit appears in our hub-world, a place that calls to tarnished of all kinds, whether they're legends or otherwise.
I need to warn you about something. A little while ago, someone started lurking in the wing on the opposite side of the Round Table.
I never really understood why the Dung Eater was here. I didn't get, like, he just sort of half-ass explained, like, it calls to people and they show up there at the Round Table, but I never really got why the Dung Eater was there. It seems like a weird place to be.
And I can hear, from all the way over there, the howling and wailing of spirits in fear of a curse. I can even hear the repulsive twisted malice in itself.
Did the Dung Eater actually eat shit? I mean, that's just what they call him, but I don't think there's any dialogue talking about him, like, eating feces. That doesn't seem to be something that actually happens. Am I wrong?
A plethora of spirits in an unceasing cacophony. I can't even imagine how much suffering inflicted.
Why does he have a sun on his armor, like Solaire, though? I don't like that.
To who knows how many souls. Not even the grafting caused anything like this to happen. You should keep your distance. I know you're strong, but please.
You'll get what's coming.
And they're plotting.
Have you ever felt the curse
Oh, it's a necklace.
with your whole being? The pox upon
Okay,
life.
somebody tell me this, because I said this in another video and it never really got verified, and I don't know. Is he an omen whose horns have been chopped, or is that just what his armor looks like?
Self, feared and despised by all. The reviled blessing. Apparently not. You are but a lamb, a stranger to defilement, ignorant of your own ignorance. You no longer interest me. Be thankful of the whole serenity. It is all that keeps your death and defilement at bay.
Y'all go save this dude's life, though? Y'all let him
The
out?
Dung Eater. He certainly leaves a lingering impression. His sword is fashioned from the backbone of a malformed giant.
That's
His
another
armor
sword.
resembles an omen, but with its horns.
Another, like, body or spine-focused sword. There's more than one. I think that's the third I'm aware of.
cut off. His form reflects the landscape.
He just
of
answered that
Ipsen
question.
Omen, but with its horns cut off. Giant. His armor resembles an omen, but with its horns cut
Okay,
off.
so it just resembles
His form
him.
reflects the landscape of his mind. That is to say, he is suffering. He is persecution. But he only has the mind of an omen. Others are born with the body to match, and are held to be a punishment
He's a wannabe
for making
omen.
contact with the crucible. They are called misbegotten and omen, and denied rebirth via the Erd Tree. For in the lands between, death is not the end. The Erd Tree is not just the dominant faith, it is where all honest souls desire to return. To be removed from the Erd Tree's cycle of death and life, to many, that is the worst thing imaginable.
It sucks, man. Everybody else lives forever,
the
and you get a
curse.
you get a true death. Yeah, that's a curse.
Here, in the fields of the Altus Plateau, a second omen illusion stands watch. And it was here that a great battle was fought to repel Godric the Golden when he sought to return to Leyndell.
That's why I was mad about this, because there's 3 times that this is used.
Down the way, Erd Tree sentinels grasped torches that were furnished by Morgoth himself to prevent Black Knife assassins from sneaking into the capital. Morgoth gave everything for the Erd Tree. only to see a golden light shining in tarnished eyes. And despite Morgoth defending Leyndell against rebellion, blasphemy, and assassination, that golden light drives the tarnished to slay him.
That's true.
Remember thee, tarnished, smouldering with thy meager flame.
He's kind of interesting because he has some horns chopped off and then some not.
Of the night,
Like maybe the ones that got in the way of his vision or something.
brook thee no quarter.
It's hard to go through this world and not question the very grace that guides you. And so it is that many tarnished fall from grace once again.
Uh-oh.
Marika's tits. You must be hungry. Perfect bloody timing, actually. I got crab.
Oh, crab.
Cooked up fresh. There's something I should probably
What did I
tell you.
read that his prawns aren't actually prawns? They're, shit, someone tell me what they are. They're not prawns, though.
You heard of the Dung Eater? He's a madman. Has it out for everyone. Curses them. Goes round in his rank armor and all. You see him, though. Stay, well, away. I was in the same jail as him once, so I know firsthand. He's a god-forsaken monster. Not just some petty thug like me. He's a killer. Kills people and curses the souls. Does all sort of shit to the corpses to keep them cursed forever.
Is there, when they say like they defile and he talks about the seed and stuff like that, there seems to be like a sexual inference to that. Is that accurate, or were those just the words chosen to explain what he does to the corpse by like applying the curse to him?
Seen nothing more disgusting in all my years. I ever been more scared neither. Rooted to the bloody spot while he did that to my friend. And now I seen it here again. Never thought I would. What he does to those bodies. It was him. No question. That monster. He's lurking round here.
Despite the danger, Bogart remains just outside of Leyndell, his humble ambitions delayed by his fondness for crab. But you find a way inside, past layer and layer of the city's defense. Isn't it kind of strange that even though the tarnished are guided to restore order, that the very forces of order itself are placed in your way? You wouldn't have met him in your journey.
Good point.
But there is a certain noble who yet remains in the city, a member of House Shaneheit, who makes no effort to hide his prejudice.
Welcome, dear
Who dat?
guest. After being out there, it must be quite surprising to see our capital cradled by the Erd Tree.
So why wouldn't I have
showered by
met?
an eternal wellspring of grace.
Is this cut content?
The sights, the sounds, the luscious scents, each precisely as they should be, each eternal. Oh, I didn't notice that you were tarnished. Now, you mustn't take this the wrong way, but you must leave the capital at once. It is for your own good, I assure you. All things have their proper place. We, having been chosen by grace, were given this golden capital. You, on the other hand, have your own home, which is
Listen
a
to
far
this guy.
cry from here.
Thinks he's better. We haven't been chosen by grace, have our own home. Come on, get out of here.
So far, in fact, that it cannot be further marred by your touch.
For all its glory, the city of Leyndell on the surface is like a thin layer of gold, a coating that can be easily scratched away, revealing the undercity beneath, full of horrors. Here in the sewers,
Yeah, that's
vermin
true.
are shunned, all for the mere crime of being born.
Definitely
simply
some.
because they were born with aspects of the Crucible.
There's definitely some
That same
class
crucible
issues in
That was
Leyndell.
once the primordial form of the Erd Tree. If only the people of Leyndell knew. the true identity of Morgoth, the Lord of Grace, who now rules over the city.
What's the true identity?
Do you remember, back at Castle Morn, that there was a spirit who feared his body being eaten by the misbegotten?
I remember that guy.
To him, there was nothing worse than being disgraced in such a way. But nothing is worse than the seedbed curse, which the Dung Eater cultivates upon those that he kills. A tender pox, afflicted with omen horns, that afflicts the host in such a way that it ensures that the curse will be passed on to natural-born children instead, creating an infectious population that will never know grace.
His goal, man, he's just trying to kill everybody too. So, all right, so I was mistaken on the last video. I was thinking that the Flame of Frenzy wasn't so bad. I'm like, oh, you cleanse everything and start anew because it's so bad. But turns out I was way wrong. Y'all let me know in great detail how wrong I was and that the Frenzied Flame is just burning everything and it's over. Is he not doing the same thing, just in a grosser way? Eventually, everyone will die via his disease or his curse, the pox.
No. Wait. You have felt the curse. I can smell it on you. The pox, yet tender. Apparently my seedbed is ripe and waiting. 'Twas a brief respite, I must say. Go and unshackle my corporeal flesh, trapped in the sewer jail below the capital.
And so, whether it's out of fear, or admiration, or sheer curiosity, we descend below to free the Dung Eater.
He was hard to find. Yeah, finding the Dung Eater was tough. That was one of those I don't think I would have just found on my own. That was definitely a look up later and try to go find him via a guide sort of thing. He was really well hidden.
On the way to the Dung Eater's cell are the shunning grounds, where we kill the Omen in the only home that they've ever known.
Let me out. Let me out of here. Must eat more. Defile more. Everything that matters to you
This guy's nuts.
for generations to come.
That visual of people just banging their head on the wall, bleeding, that's reused so many times in different games and movies and all sorts of media. It's this universal sign of you're fucking crazy.
I've been here long enough. I will kill again and defile each corpse with care, just to be sure that when they're reborn, they'll be cursed, along with their children and their children's children, for all time to come.
It's pretty evil, man. Not very nice. Not kind. Not kind at all.
Oh, there you are. Pleased to see you.
Oi.
You must have expunged the omen from the repository. Otherwise, their revolting screeches would still be affronting my ears. Well, you've done us a fine service, I must say. The Erdbishops will be very pleased to hear it. No, this is above their station. If I explain that this was all my idea, I could be granted audience with Morgoth, Lord of Grace. What a wondrous opportunity! That a Viscountess myself might be seen by the Lord of Grace.
Who is this?
The citizens of Leyndell are complicit in perpetuating the curse of the Omen. With this in mind, the Dung Eater's actions almost start to make sense. For the majority of his seedbed curses can be found in Leyndell, amongst the populace that, admittedly, deserves it the most.
Oh.
So there's a reason the Dung Eater is
Interesting.
lurking nearby.
Trying to give it to everybody in Leyndell. No! He was innocent. Terrible, just terrible.
It serves me right. Fitting bloody end. For a jumped up little shit with big ideas. Help me out. Would you, mate? I don't want to get cursed. Just let me die. I don't want to live like this.
I thought he was already
No more.
cursed, so you just kill him so the curse doesn't move on.
Please.
Defiled by the seedbed curse,
Okay,
Bogart is severed from grace, against his will. The Erd Tree rejects his body and soul, and so his grace is lost, just like the omen. What a curse. What a blessing.
Interesting. What a curse, what a blessing, he says.
Must eat more. Defile more.
You know what happened here to me? I got in this fight, and we both died, and I didn't get his armor.
I am the
Sad.
Dung Eater. A scourge
sad.
upon the living.
That's what you get buffing all day. You come in for the hit.
I will kill you and defile your corpse. Then the pox will truly be your own.
Okay, is there a link? I made a comment of the similarities between the Flame of Frenzy and the Dung Eater, and then he keeps doing all these frenzied flame things right here. Is that just a coincidence, or was I onto something? Whack! What do y'all know about that faith build?
One day, you'll get what's coming.
You'll get what's coming. A terrible song on the flute.
All right, mate. Want some more prawn, do you? Never met someone with a taste for prawn I couldn't trust. We'd make good mates, I reckon. I'll be seeing you.
You ever met anybody who just like made a serious decision based off of something stupid like that? Like my dad used to say, never trust a man who won't take a drink. Like that's how you trust people based on how much alcohol. Like it's totally ridiculous. Hey, where'd you get that helmet?
Our Lord, he is a stain upon all things golden. Kill Morgoth, kingly impostor.
Am I dumb? Did I just like entirely miss an entire storyline? I have no idea who that dude is.
Graceless, tarnished. What is thy business with these thrones? Ah, Godric the Golden. The twin prodigies, Mikola and Melania.
It's a cool edit. Time for a mani-pedi, bro.
General Radahn.
Not looking good.
Praetor Rykard. Luna Princess.
Radon don't fit in that chair anymore. Definitely does not fit.
Willful traitors. All. Thy kind are all of a piece. Pillagers, emboldened by the flame of ambition.
Pretty cool speech.
Have it writ upon thy meager grave.
Time to die.
By King Morgoth, last of all kings.
Isn't every king the last of the kings? Up until that point? I don't know that he had to specify. Got you from a distance.
The thrones, stained by my curse. Such shame I cannot bear. Thy part in this shall not be forgiven.
That's cool dialogue. Uh-oh. Why am I commenting?
May the curse
I'm like, watch
seep
out!
to thy very soul.
He got stabbed. I'm like, oh no!
Curse is said to be stirring within you. Of course it is, if you've willingly followed the Dung Eater this far. So that at the end, a new order might begin. It's an ending defined by the curse that the Golden Order brought upon the Omen and brought upon itself. With a dead Erd tree, a pockmarked sky, and a festering population. In his insanity, the Dung Eater seems to believe that we're his equal. I guess, how else could we hold on to his seedbed curse and fight him off as well?
There you are. You warded off my blessing, despite the curse stirring within you. No one has succeeded in that before. How? I thought. Then it hit me that you are, in fact, me. And I am the Dung Eater. It is my flesh that must receive the blessing.
I don't even know what that means. I'm the Dung Eater? Is he just being crazy? Yeah, there's something there I don't get.
An apt reward for thy brash ambition. I see thee little tarnished.
Hit you with the thorns, man. What are you gonna do about it?
The great rune in Morgoth's possession is the Anchor Ring. It is the foundation upon which the others rely.
The
To make
anchor?
it this far, 2 great runes are required,
Oh.
but a third is needed to reforge the Elden Ring.
So there's like of an actual ring.
Morgoth's.
An actual ring, it's the anchor and all the other pieces go on it? Is the ring an actual ring? I know
Yeah,
they
the
call it
demigods
shards
all
and stuff,
had.
but I always thought the Elden Ring was more of a metaphor of maybe I watched that in one of these and it made a lot of sense. I thought it was like a metaphor of like the ring of people. Maybe I'm wrong.
What Morgoth was denied from
I
birth,
often am.
the Erd Tree's grace, a mother, and a fate to call their own. But while Morgoth was shackled deep below the earth, they threw it all away. So even though he was born a graceless Omen child, Morgoth tried to be the Erd Tree's protector. He was never loved, and should never have learned love. But nevertheless, love the Erd Tree. He did.
Yeah, but he's just a regular person.
In
Like
death,
we learned that in
Morgoth's
other
horns
videos
dis-
that all. Whoa, his horns are gone. Sorry, I just ADD'd that. Yeah, I thought they're all just like normal people. They just look different. So why wouldn't he do that?
He did. In death, Morgoth's horns disappear.
That's
Perhaps
weird.
it was one final mercy from the Erd Tree. Too late. But at the Erd Tree, we find our path blocked once more, despite being led here by the Erd Tree's very grace.
Still got that kick-ass beard, though. Got the chops only.
Lord, but a fool. The Erd Tree wards off all who deign approach. We are all forsaken.
Why does his body turn smaller like that and his horns go away and all that stuff? What was making him be that way in the first place?
None may claim the title of Elden Lord.
You're wrong.
Thy deeds shall be met with failure, just as
Just stomped his face in. Excessive.
Give me your blessing. Defile my flesh with the seedbed curse, again and again, until it is done. Until a cursed ring coalesces that may one day defile order itself. Countless I have killed, and countless I have defiled. And soon the fruits will be born. Hundreds will be reborn cursed. And they'll bear thousands of cursed children.
Reborn?
Who bear tens of thousands more. A few
What?
of that
There's always something. So he said, soon they will be reborn, but I thought you can't be reborn if you have the curse. So I thought you would have to be cursed and then start having children and let that go on. So I don't know what that means.
those will be born just like me. And they'll kill and defile and bless in my stead the rotten fools. My fate was the grandest, most brilliant of them all.
Whack!
Unleash it upon them! A curse blessings to war!
Man, this got serious.
The creation of this mending rune requires someone to defile the defiler, creating a story that can be used to mend the Elden Ring, codifying these words of defilement into order itself.
Ooh. Creepy. I am the Dung Eater.
This mending rune of despair only exists because of the hatred inherent in Marika's Golden Order. It makes you wonder, why did it have to be this way? Why did Marika demonize the Crucible?
That's my question. That's really what I want to know. That's a big one.
It's been a long while, Morgoth.
That brief moment of tenderness between father and son raises some questions. Was Morgoth at some point shown love? How did Godfrey, leader
Makes
of
sense.
the Crucible Knights, feel about the Golden Order's scorn of the Crucible?
Maybe someone like, Horalu would love his son no matter what, but he's got to be, this god like the king, right? So he's like, well, around here, I guess we shun people to the sewers. So maybe he was forced to do that instead of loving his child, which is what he really wanted to do. Maybe his hand was forced.
We may never know.
Or we may never know.
Long and hard didst thou fight, tarnished warrior, spurned by the grace of gold. Be assured the Elden Ring resteth close at hand.
Alas, I am returned. To be granted audience once more.
It'd be pretty cool to have a pet lion if it wasn't like people that have pet lions and tigers and stuff.
My name as Godfrey,
That's not good for the lion
the
or
first
tiger.
Elden Lord.
But I get why they want it.
Enough
They're cool.
of this kingly folly.
Check out my neck sack. Ooh, got him. That's a cool move.
A true warrior thou art.
Coming in. That's pretty cool. Your boy's down.
All failed to stop you.
Isn't that a
In the
cool looking character? They're just
The
blood
champion
all
for the
over him.
Omen,
Just
The
covered in blood.
misbegotten.
Looks
and
awesome.
despair.
Oh, creepy. Oh, God, that scared me.
Curse you, Golden Order. One day, you'll get what's coming.
Originally, those born of the Crucible were considered to be divine.
Those look like fresh
That
cuts.
is, until civilization advanced, and those deemed misbegotten were enslaved. But then they fought, reveled in their accursed identity, and so a new order was created, one born entirely from the prejudices of the Golden Order that came before. Now, all are cursed, and for every curse, a cursed blessing.
The fallen leaves.
I don't get that. What he says, for every curse, a curse blessing. They've said that a few times throughout this video, where it's like the curse is a blessing or something like that. I don't really follow that.
Tell a story of how a tarnished became Elden Lord. In our home, across the fog, the lands between. Our seed will look back upon us and recall the reviled curse
Why is that so-
defined our
That's so
age.
scary to me.
The blessing of despair.
All right, y'all. Well, thanks for joining me for that one. Got two more left. Two more Prepare to Cries, and I hear the Age of Stars one is one to watch. So I don't think that's next. I think I got one more in between. So hope I see you next time. See you then.